Hi friends, I'm Myra with Vial Designs, and in today's video I'm going to show you how to create each of these lettering styles for March step by step. Let's dive right in. First, create a way that we are lettering March. We're going to be using the Tombow 173, Tombow 195, the pentel brush pen, and then a gold gel pen. This is the Link Shine brand. As always, I'm gonna be adding links to everything down below, and these are just the colors that I'm gonna be using in case you wanna imitate the same colors. If not, feel free to use any colors that you have, any markers. So the first thing that we're gonna do is we're gonna use our Tombow dual brush pen 173, and then I'm gonna write March in calligraphy, and this is going to be our base color. The next thing that we're going to do to create, we're going to be doing a ribbon style lettering. So what we're going to do next is I'm going to be using my pentel Fude brush pen and the Tombow 195. So the way that we're going to do it is with the Tombow 195, we are going to color every time we are doing a half stroke. So we're gonna color this part over here, sort of like the back of the letter, and then right here we're gonna darken it a little bit more to create sort of like a shadow effect with the pentel brush. We're gonna do the same, and now we're gonna be mindful of like the crease that it makes, or like the curve that it makes as the stroke goes up. It's like we're doing right here, and then we're gonna switch. We're gonna darken it a little bit at the ends, and then we're gonna blend it with the same brush pen. And then we're gonna continue doing the same until the end. So since this is the ribbon style lettering, we want to make sure that right here, when this stroke transitions from like thin to thick, we kind of like create this curve over here to resemble as if the ribbon is bending. And adding this darker color right here is gonna create like a depth in the stroke. And we just want to make sure that we blend it out a little bit, just like that. And now what we're going to do to give it like a more dramatic effect, we're going to go back and use the same Tombow 173, and we're gonna darken the ends of the letters, just like this. And now we can leave it like this, which I love how it looks, or you can take it up a notch and then add with your gold gel pen, add an outline to all the downstrokes, just like this. And that is our first way to letter March creatively. Let me go ahead and move it up a little bit. I don't think you can appreciate that gold as much here in the video, but it looks amazing. For the second way that we're going to letter March creatively, I'm going to be using this washi tape, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to put it right here in the middle. Okay, and I just want to make sure that I have like 2.5 squares at the top and then 2.5 squares at the bottom. And for this one, I'm using the Tombow dual brush pen 133, and I'm going to write March in block letters over the washi tape. And now, very carefully, I'm gonna go ahead and remove the washi tape. One thing that you wanna keep in mind, sometimes the washi tape can be very sticky, So just in case, I didn't do it this time, but just in case, you could just put the washi tape against your skin to lose a little bit of the stickiness so it doesn't damage the paper. My paper here is really good, it's really good quality, so it didn't get damaged. Now one thing, if you get a little bit of a smudge of the brush pen, you can use this Tombow sand eraser. This is really helpful to erase any marker or pencil messes that you make. Now what I'm going to do is I'm using my Tombow Fudenosuke brush pen, and I'm going to write March again inside of this blank space that the washi tape left us. And now I'm going to be using an extended modern calligraphy. What I'm going to try to do is fit the M-A-R-C-H in the corresponding block letters, and then I'm going to do the connection strokes very extended. So this is what I mean by that. I'm going to do the M here, and then I'm going to extend it so I can do my A here, and then I extend it so I can do the R here. I will extend it again, and then the H. Now since we're doing March and St. Patrick's Day is in March, I thought we'll do a little bit of St. Patrick's Day inspired. And so for the third way to creatively letter March, we're gonna start doing a shamrock, and I'm gonna use the same washi tape that I had, and then I'm gonna trace the circle with pencil. I'm gonna get a ruler, and then you're going to do 2 diagonal lines inside the circle. We want the lines to divide our circle in equal spaces. So let's try that again, like that. So we're gonna do an X inside the circle, and then what we're going to do to draw the shamrock, we are going to do a heart inside each. I guess this will be like a piece of a pie, and this is how we're gonna draw our shamrock, just like this. And then once we are satisfied with it, we're gonna use our monoline pen, and then we're gonna just do the outline. I was messing up a little bit here, but I think I will be able to fix it. It's gonna look better, I promise. Actually, as I was doodling this, I started to doubt myself if clover and shamrocks are the same, and they're not. I learned something new. So this is technically not a shamrock, but it is a clover, because shamrock only have 3 leaves and clovers have 4. So there you go, I learned something new. Hopefully you did too, or maybe you were already correcting me in the comments. Either way, it's fine. We are learning, I guess, something else other than doodling over here. Now look at this shine. I am using this gel pen called Link Shine. I'm just gonna color it with this because I love how vibrant and shiny this gel pen looks. And of course, you know, I am telling you all the tools that I'm using, but as always, feel free to use what you have at home. Now for the lettering part, I'm going to write March in bounce lettering, and I'm doing the entry stroke coming out of the clover. Now as always, I have a lettering workbook where I show you exactly how to do bounce lettering and then modern calligraphy as well. I will put the link to my shop below in case you want to check that out, and if you want to learn everything about modern calligraphy and all the different styles that I'm doing here, bounce lettering, block lettering, all of that, I have a lot of workbook and resources inside my shop and my blog at vialdesigns.com. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to add this with this Pentel brush pen. I'm going to add a shadow to the right and underneath of every stroke, and this is just going to create a really cool effect to make this March pop a little bit more. Now, one thing that you want to keep in mind when you are doing the shadows is that you do want to keep the shadows proportional to the strokes. And what I mean by that is, like, if your downstroke are thicker, your shadow downstroke should be thicker, and then when it's going up, it should be a little thinner. So you keep everything in proportion, and that is the third way to creatively letter march. Now, as you can see here, for the third way, I thought that it needed a little something, so I added some highlights with a white gel pen. Now, for the fourth way that we are lettering march, if you want a step-by-step tutorial on how to create these bubble letters, I do have a video on my channel, and I'm gonna link it below that you can go ahead and follow if you need a little bit more help with creating bubble letters. Inside the video, I also have a free worksheet for you to practice, so make sure you check that out if this is a style that you want to, or maybe need a little bit more practice and help in creating. I also have workbook to go along with it, so you have a lot of options there, and I'm going to add link to everything down below. Now, as you can see here, all my letters are overlapping, and that's just a personal preference. You can always do the letters with a little bit more space, but I don't know, I just love how the letters overlap like this. Now, for this style, we're gonna keep it simple, and what we're gonna do, I'm using this pen, Pilot brush pen. I discovered it recently and I like it a lot. It is definitely extra juicy. I'm going to add an outline to these chunky bubble letters. Now, one thing that I'm learning the hard way with these pens that are super juicy is that you do have to wait until it's completely dried out, because I'm already causing a lot of smudges on this page. So just a quick tip, make sure when you're doing this, don't be impatient like me and wait until it dries out before you slide your hand over it or before you erase something. Now, I think it looks really cool like this, but we're gonna add a little bit of highlight to the letters, and for that what we're going to do is we're just gonna add like a little bit of a bubble here and then a small circle, and we're gonna do that throughout the letter. And we want to make sure we don't overdo it. We're just adding a little bit of highlights to give it character and to make these letters more playful and fun. And some are gonna be bubbles, and then some others are just gonna be these lines. Quick tip before we move on to the next one is that I didn't really like how this highlight looked in there, so I'm going over with a white gel pen to cover it, and then once it's dry, I'm gonna go over it again. Now, for this last way that we're going to creatively write march, this is a little hack. I just have this notepad over here at the end of the notebook, because it is really a little bit of a pain when you get to the end of the page and you're trying to write. So I'll just put this here. I'm using this light green Tombow 133, and then I'm just going to do a couple of lines here. Then I'm gonna grab my yellow Tombow dual brush 062. I'm gonna do another 2 lines. And then last but not least, I'm gonna be using this blue, light blue 291, and then I'm gonna do the last of it here. Now I'm going to write march in block lettering inside the background that I did. And I'm gonna go ahead and thicken the downstrokes a little bit, because I want my letters to be a little bit thicker. Now, if this is a style of lettering that you would like to learn, I do have a workbook for this as well. It's my Confident Brush block lettering workbook, and again, it's inside my shop, vialdesigns.com, if this is something that you would like to learn as well. Now you could leave it like that, but you know, I always like to add a little bit more. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to do a frame around the background. And I'm just gonna add lines and dots. And now here at the end, instead of closing the frame that we're doing around it, I'm gonna go ahead and do this stem, because we're going to doodle a quick greenery. I'm gonna do these leaves. I always like to add these little dots to fill in the space and to add like some dramatic action to the doodles. And that is the 5th way to creatively letter march. Now actually, before I finish, I'm gonna go ahead and use this gold gel pen, and I'm just gonna add a line shadow to the letters just like this. Let me know in the comments which one of these 5 ways to letter march was your favorite, and if you recreate any of these in your bullet journal, I would love to see it. So be sure to tag me on Instagram at Vial Designs or on Facebook at Vial Designs as well. I hope you found this helpful, and I will see you in the next video.